This is the last of the lessons of the lesson number 2. So I hope all of you have got the previous videos and the lessons. And in this lesson I'm going to give you 2 axioms. Two axiom means the basis on which you are going to live your life for the next 3 or 4 months. Then I'll give you something else, and then I'll give you something else. So we carry on, and the scriptural passage for today's lesson, or lesson number 2D, is the Lord is my shepherd, no thing shall I want, need, or desire. And we are going to study how we are going to make nothing desirable, no wants, no need. So the first thing comes is, do you need a shepherd? And the second question to ask yourself is, do I believe that I have a shepherd? And if both the answers are yes or no, if it is yes, then if I have a shepherd, then all I have to do is eat grass the whole day and make funny sound, meh, meh, and all that, and enjoy life. Totally enjoy life. Because the shepherd knows what is best for the sheep. And the sheep trust the shepherd. He walks in front, and they put their ears and eyes and everything to the ground and just follow the butt ahead of them. And that fellow follows the butt ahead of them. Everybody following each other's butt. Nobody following the shepherd, but all of them following the shepherd as one unit. So, if you see the sheep, therefore, they don't want anything. Nothing do they want. Nothing do they desire, nothing. Because before they can want, before they can need, the shepherd always think, okay, now there will be no grass in the winter. What shall I do? I'll have to bring and stock up. The sheep haven't to bother about it. They know grass will be there, or whatever we need to eat will be provided for. I don't have to bother because this guy is in front of me. So therefore, this is the basis on which we stand, the Lord, there is nothing I shall want. So the first axiom is, I need nothing. And this is also given in scripture over and over again, where Jesus tells us, does not your Father know what you want before you ask Him? Then He gives an example, graphic example. Look at the lilies of the field. They don't have to clothe themselves. They get nice clothing. Look at the birds of the air. And He says, not one hair from your head falls without your Father knowing about it. So deep He goes into that. So that shows that we really need nothing, because get into that frame of mind and try to meditate on that as often as possible. So we are going on that, I need do nothing. So first of all, there is nothing that you there is nothing that you have to do. The emphasis is on have. There's nothing that you have to do. There's nothing that you must do. There is nothing that you must do. What's the meaning of that? So, if there is something that you must do, that means there is somebody giving you the order. It's saying, like the boss, you go to work, and the boss says you have to do this, you have to do this project, you have to do. And in order to get your salary and in order to get your promotion, you have to do. Why? Because you are somehow forced. You're forced to do, you have to do. And once you say have to do, it means that you really cannot exercise your free will unless you want to get sacked. So God doesn't ask you to do anything. He doesn't say, this you have to do, otherwise I'll kick your butt. This you have to do, otherwise no food tomorrow. This you have to do, this you have to do. God never tells us what we have to do, because He's given us free will to decide what I have to do or what I have not. I will decide. And He's left the decision to us. I will decide what I have to do. And why do I decide what I have to do? Because I will face the consequences. Now, those of us who do not believe that, those of us who believe that I have to do what God commands me to do, and therefore, if I don't do, I will be punished or rewarded. So we have developed a God who punishes and rewards. Rather than here, He has given us free will. I choose freely what to do or what not to do, and I am responsible for what I do. And if I have to pay the price, I will willingly pay the price, because I take responsibility for my thought, word, needs and everything. I am not putting the blame on my uncle or auntie or my grandmother or grandfather or anybody. Nobody. Everybody is off the hook. So get this into your mind right now. Why? Because the basis of everything is we are one with God. And if we are one with God, there is nothing that I must do. There is nothing that I must do. So what happens here? Because we are one with God, we don't have any orders. God and you act as one. So God and you are acting as one. Do you believe that? That God cannot do anything without you, and you cannot do anything without God. But all this time we thought, because we thought that we are separate from God, we thought God does what He wants and I can do what I want. And we both go along our merry ways, both blaming each other. But if this is the truth, that there is no God and there is no me, there is only we. Important for you too, because all these first 6 lessons are the foundations. And because we are one with God, we lack nothing. We lack for nothing. Everything is provided. If we lack for nothing, then what do we need?
Nothing.
Nothing. If we lack for nothing, then that's the meaning of that. Look at the lilies, look at the bird, look at that. So if we lack for nothing, everything is provided for, everything is taken care of, there is no me and there is no God, there is we as one. That's the life we are called to lead. I need do nothing. First of the axiom, I need do nothing. So what do we need to do? You need to do nothing but make a determined desire to experience God working through you. If you have not done so, it's time to do so. To experience God working through you. And so you get up in the morning and you tell yourself, today I'm going to be much more alert to how God works through me. And don't presuppose anything. Don't say, okay, God is working through me, so I have to be kind. God is working through me, so I have to smile at everyone. Today God is working through me, I have to do nothing. Just be that. And watch, even if something so-called wrong thing, or something evil thing, or something bad thing happens through you, what will you say? I have said it so many times. What I say is, oh God, why did you do this through me? So that means that comes that, I did not, I gave power to God to work through me, and He did this bad thing. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to see how that related to free will.
Yeah.
How does that relate to free will? If you do something that may be bad or evil, and then you kind of take it back and go, well, God, why did you allow that to happen?
Why did you do that through me?
Do that through me,
Yeah.
but how does that relate to my own free will to do that and suffer the consequence?
Yeah, so actually, there are no two wills. There is no will of God and there is no your will. God's will is what? Let us see the movie that we saw last week or something. God's will is what? For you to be happy. Correct. So there is no problem about that. What is your will? To be unhappy or to be happy?
Be happy.
So we both have the same damn will. The same will. So now you can say, I have free will and I don't want to be happy. So that is your problem. If you choose to be unhappy, but basically the will is the same. You want happiness, God wants happiness. He doesn't want it. You want joy, He wants joy. You want contentment, He wants. You want abundance, He wants. Everything that you want, He wants. So basically, deep inside, there are no two wills. And if you carry on for 1 year, next year, I tell them, it is not only there are no two wills, but it is this, that God is so humble, He's practically always doing your will, rather than you doing His will. He's always doing our will. And that is why in Christianity, the greatest thing that you can do is to serve someone. Because God is always serving us. Always. There are no two ways about it. If God is always serving us, there must be something divine in taking care of others. There must be something divine in caring for something, in doing something, in paying back. There must be something divine because God is doing it all the time. So, and this is all based, all this that we are talking about is all based on that another saying which I will say 100 times or 200 times during the course of this whole course. The bottom line is, the Father and I are one.
Father, last week when I was praying, it's so quiet and everything. And then I was like praying when I was thinking about God the Father, is like very, very far away, infinite. But this time, when I was praying, it's like all of a sudden it's just right there next to you. And then I look into my heart and I said, it's not really far away from the galaxy. It's just right here.
Right.
And so it make it closer.
Yeah.
Like it's different.
Different. It is true.
Because I don't usually pray. I pray to Jesus and Mary and hardly to God the Father because it's like infinity. It's like way,
too
way
far,
up.
Too far.
Yeah. But this lately, it's like it's right here. And I look down and I go, what? It's just right there. Close.
Yeah. You know, in the last three or 4 months, I had 2 experiences. An experience is a reality, and it happened in front of my eyes. I go to the VA. So there was Mr. James something Sheridan. James. And he was there on his bed and the pillow tucked up and all. And his jaw had fallen. You know when people are dying and all, the jaw falls. And his eyeballs were rolled up. So I asked him, James, what are you staring at? And he raised his finger. James, you want to tell me what you are staring at? And he said, God, with the breath. So he couldn't even talk. So, this is very, very powerful because God is not out there. And Jesus told us, you are the temple of the Holy Spirit. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Wow. And after a month, 45 days, again I had the same experience. Only this time he was lying flat on his chin because the nurses and all were not there and his tongue was hanging out. And I asked him, Joe, what are you looking at? And again his eyes, the ball was gone up. Only the white of the eye could be seen. Like that. What are you looking there, Joe? And he said, loudly he said this guy said, God, I saw God. And within 2-3 hours he died. Both those guys died. So God had come all the way to console them and saying, drop your body, I'm going to take care of you. I have always taken care of you. Don't be afraid, come on. And they looked at him and they were so full of love. And they just said, I'm just looking that. So God is much closer. I think some of the saints have said this. The saints have said, God is much closer to us than we can dream or imagine. Okay. Because you and the Father are one, you need do nothing except allow the Father to walk through you. Now, to allow the Father to walk to you, coming to Emily's question, is a question of your free will. There. But if you allow the Father to walk through you, then your free will is meshed with the will of the Father. That is why the whole of Christianity begins with the story of Mary who said, thy will be done. And there would have been no Christianity if that teenage girl would have said, no, I don't want to be the mother. Thy will not be done. And she taught her son. And he said, I came into the world to do the will of my Father. And we are all in this world to do the will of the Father. And if you hear the other side of the coin, the Father says, what do you want? I will do your will. So both of us are saying, I will do your will, I will do your will. Doesn't it call, therefore, for a happiest married life? God is married to us. We are the bride and He is the bridegroom. And He is always saying, I will do your will. And the bride is always saying, I will do your will. So what other will is there? That is our life. That is the life chosen for us by God. these are the two axioms which I said I will teach you today after the introduction. I am created as my Father created me to be. The God created you and you are exactly as God created you. I am free and nothing sources my experience but me in each moment. Nothing has an effect upon me whatsoever except that which I choose to allow to affect me. Can you see? Just tell me if you have any difficulty, I will explain to you. I am created as my Father, and I want you to say this every morning 10 to 15 times, or maybe every hour 2-3 times, repeat and repeat. I am created as my Father created me to be. Perfect, beautiful, holy, His image. Nothing can shake that. Anybody can change that, that means he's greater than God. Nobody in this whole universe is greater than God. I am created as my Father created me to be. I am free. He created you to be free. Nothing sources my experience but me. All my experiences are coming from me. The experience of sitting down here is you chose to sit down. Your experience of putting your hand here is you chose to sit down. The experience of him watching is his choice. His choice. Everybody is a source of your own experience. Nothing has an effect upon me except that which I choose to affect me. And the second one is I need do nothing. So, how do we do that? So you have to now, you have the power given to you by God. You have the power. But where has it gone? The power, you and I together are the nuts. We have taken this power and we have given it to the world. We have taken this power and given it to people. We have taken this power and given it to the weather. I have taken this power and given it to my car. I have taken this. So the power that God has given us, we have now said, you know what? I'm giving you the power. You know what power? You have the possibility now to hurt me. And how will you hurt me? By saying this Father Nelson is an idiot. So that's how you will hurt me. And so we have given the power. When we are hurt by anyone, it is because we have given them the power to hurt me. So even some people come to me and said, isn't it bad weather, Father? I feel so bad in this weather. So I say in my mind, and if they are okay to hear, I tell them, so you have given your power to the weather. You have given your power to feel bad to the weather? No. I will feel bad when I want to feel bad. Hang the weather. I will feel bad when I want to feel bad. Hang the traffic. I will feel bad when I want to feel bad. But I have decided, now can you say that? I am taking back the power from the weather. I am taking back the power from my husband. I am taking back the power from my parent. I am taking back the power from the church. I am taking back the power from religious life. I am taking back all this power. Back, I am taking back my power. This requires therefore to move out from the status of victimhood. What to do? I'm poor. Nobody is there to help me. I'm a woman, so women are helpless. So I'm one another woman in this. What to do? My wife beats me around so, and everybody goes around like a silly victim, whereas God has given them all the power, and you and I have given this power to others. So one of the things that spirituality is going to tell you is take back your power. Take back your power. Sometimes people come and say, I had a good fight with so-and-so. Okay, you had a good fight, yeah. For what? because they were always on my back. Okay. So they are terrible people. Yes, terrible people. But I can do nothing about it. Okay, you can do nothing about it. So, how long are you going to allow them to sit on your back? But they are sitting. No, I say they're sitting because you're allowing them to sit. How long are you? Another guy, I think, in the previous batch or the batch before that, in batch number 2, it was a male. He came to me. We are standing here, and he's telling me, Father, I do so much good, etc., etc. But whenever I go, people are always treating me badly, and I'm trying to help everyone, and everyone treating me badly. I never say no to anyone, and I always say yes to everyone. I'm very, very kind. I'm very, very patient. I'm very, very this. I said, can you stop there and tell me that you are a doormat? Father, you're saying I'm a doormat. I said, yes, and you're happy to be a doormat. And so what does a doormat do? It remains there in the same position and allows everyone to, and then it said, they're bad people. Move from there. You don't call them bad because you're in the wrong place or you put yourself there. So, being a victim and putting the blame of control on others, whereas you be the victim, is therefore shirking your own responsibility and acting like a doormat. And are you sure that God created you as a doormat? If you're sure, then you're doing the right thing. But if you think that God created you like Himself, and still you're a doormat, then what you're saying, God is a doormat. You feel like laughing. So, let us go. Let us go into this mode that none of us is born to be a doormat, but we have allowed ourselves to be used as doormat. So let's go deeper into that. If I allow myself to be used as a doormat and I continue 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 20 years, 30 years, what does it mean? It means I have reached such a state in my life that I enjoy being a doormat. And I can't get out of it. And this is where I am. If you did not enjoy being a victim, then you would move out from the status of victim as soon as possible and therefore moving out from state of victimhood is stepping into the freedom that was offered to you by God in the first place. So you can now remain here, shackled, or you can remain here unshackled. When you come back to what God created, you can never be shackled. You can always be this. So you have to take back all that you have given away, and here I put people, memories, words, situation, climate and things, to all kinds of stuff. As long as there is a need, you have no peace. And sometimes our peace is broken with very, very simple ways. How is our peace broken? One phone call. Somebody comes and gives you a phone call, and then tells you, you know what, this. We had a date, and but now I got more work. I'm cancelling the date. Terrible. This is the third time he's dumped me. He's throwing me down. I'll show him what to do. All this time you're saying, I'm God's child. One phone call, and the God child becomes the devil's child. So, as long as one phone call, one bill, one car failure to take your freedom away totally, one car failure, you're going and happily driving there. It happened to me when I bought my car new. I told this already in the previous batches. And I never had a car accident, but in that week, I had it twice. Once a small one, but I didn't get the message. Second time I got a real bang, and I had to put my car in the garage for some time. So both the times, second time I asked with much greater this, what are you trying to tell me? It doesn't matter how much I spend for that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I must know, what are you trying to tell me? And during the course of that, for the next week or so, every day, some person from the parish came and said, Father, I can lend you my car. Somebody else came and said, Father, I can lend you my car. Whenever you want to, Father, I can drive you there. And so that accident that was there was telling me, because I always believed nobody loves me. They're only here to take my advice, take all the things that I can give them, and bye, Father. So I thought inside it was always there. And also I have a great trauma in my childhood, and that trauma is a feeling of abandonment. Somewhere that is my foundation of my emotional life. I have a feeling, but now it is very, very, very little left. So there it is, abandonment. So, and now that I'm saying the word, I'm already feeling abandoned. So, and I thought, because I have that abandoned feeling, nobody loves me. Because abandonment comes from not being in a group of people, etc. And when I got this, the parishioners saying, I'll give my car, I began to think, I said, I have to revise my whole stand. People love me. They are ready to give their cars, which cost 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 to me to handle. They are ready to risk all that. And I began to believe more and more that I am loved, I am loving, and I am lovable. Therefore, that was the lesson. So in every calamity, I have always asked this question, and I always got the answer. Not the answer I wanted, but the answer that came with the question. So learn to ask these questions. What are you teaching me? Rather than say, bad luck. Hi, why should it happen to me? Hi. And beat it around the bush and feeling, what is the lesson you're taught? What is the thing that you need? You're my good shepherd. You want me to have something, and I'm not getting it. I'm eating rocks instead of eating grass. So practice at least twice a day. Especially in the morning, you meditate on, I need do nothing. When you say that, you're affirming that you have trust in the Good Shepherd. When you say, I need do nothing, you're affirming that the Father and you are one. When you say, I need do nothing, you're affirming. So a lot of affirmations are going on. You're not saying, I need do nothing because I'm sick and I got I cannot rise from the bed. No, you're saying, I need do nothing because I'm a pampered child of God. God does everything for me. He wipes my nose, He combs my hair, He cleans my butt, everything He does. So I have nothing to bother at all. So when you get on that deep level, you will have an extraordinary depth of peace. My dear brothers and sisters, I want you to get into this level. I need do nothing. And watch God working through you. And therefore, and as you do that, you will have, and you know why, when you say I need do nothing, how is stress caused? You get up in the morning and then you say, now what do I have to do? And then besides what do I have to do, another thing, will it work out right or wrong? Will I be a success or a failure? Will I do this or will I do that? Okay, and plus now, what about my husband? What about my wife? What about this? What about that? Okay, let's get up. Then you get up and start in a muddled way the whole of your day. But if you get up and say, I need do nothing, I'm going to watch, and you'll continue doing the same thing, but this time you will do it with a peace that God is doing it through me. I'm making breakfast. God and me are making the breakfast. I don't care about the outcome. I'm going to clean the bathroom and the toilet to make it ready so my husband can brush his teeth and go to work. But I'm not stressed out while doing it, because you and God are doing it together. You get that? It's very, very important. So, and as you do that, you can ask Lee, things that you cared for so much will begin to take a back seat in your life. So if you cared for example, to make the tea very hot, or you cared that, before going to work, your husband should kiss you on the cheek and say, bye honey. And so he has been doing that, because otherwise you treat him badly at night. So he gives you a kiss on your cheek and says, bye honey. But if you do this, I need do nothing, and the Father and I are one, then you will not get aggravated or angry. You will not even know. One fine day he forgets to kiss your cheek, and he goes, or second day, third day, fourth day, and then you begin to say, that guy has not touched me for a month. And you know what? I'm okay. You have won the battle. Yeah, then that's the meaning of saying, I need do nothing. I need do nothing, because everything will be given to you. And things will fall away. Now even this has a scriptural foundation. Whoever wants to follow me must give up father, mother, brother, sisters. He has to give up, sell all the things you have and then come follow me. Sell all things. What it means? So it doesn't mean to go and sell it. It means go in this direction and let these things fall away. Fall away, fall away, fall away. And when they fall, you won't notice it. You'll suffer no sense of loss. That's a beautiful thing. As things that you cherish, it's like a child growing up from, say, 2 years old, and it got a soft toy, and everywhere it comes, even to Montessori school with a soft toy, and then it talks to the toy, etc., etc. Then it takes it for 6 months, 7 months, and then without it knowing, it falls under the bed, and that child never looks at it again. This is what all your favorite toys now, allow them to fall and grow to the next dimension of your spiritual life. Don't cling on to the toys that you kept for so long. And not only will things fall away, other things will come your way. Other things will come your way, other things will be talked about, and you shall renew the face of the earth. And the earth is you. You will be renewed from inside out, inside out, inside out, without you knowing. So, all this time we have been good Christians, and what have we said? I must do. I must do means I must treat her good. And so, to treat her good so that I feel good about it. Here, I'm not going to decide to treat her good or to treat anybody bad. I'm not going to decide at all. I will decide to acknowledge the truth that God and me are one. I will decide that I need do nothing, and this relationships or whatever it is will take care of themselves without anything. So let us not, what we have been doing all this time in our religious life is putting the cart before the horse. We have been trying to be good, trying to be patient, trying to be kind, trying. And we are now 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and we are still trying. But the whole thing is the opposite. Allow things to fall away from you without you even noticing it, because God now is replacing all the things that you had clung to. As you cling more and more to God, the things will disappear like water. Dream the impossible dream. Any questions so far? They are also quiet. Okay. God creates. How does God create consciously? God created each one of us fully conscious. He was not unconscious when he created us. And you and I create unconsciously. Anybody wants to dispute that? God creates consciously, whereas you and I create unconsciously. What is the meaning of to create unconsciously? We create in order to survive. Unconsciously. Even the dog creates how to survive, the methods of survival. Even a cat, even a tree just survives. So in order to survive, it does it all unconsciously. We create unconsciously out of fear. By sitting down there this evening, I saw a group of deer there on the other side of the road this evening. And so something came, some loud noise happened, and they all ran. So they created a flee. They were fleeing out of fear. Much of our creations are done out of fear, in order to avoid pain, in order to avoid suffering, in order to avoid getting into bad books. So anything done without love and done with all this is done unconsciously. Only the things done out of love are done consciously, because God is love. So anything done out of love is done through God. Anything done without love is therefore unconsciously done through fear. Another unconscious behavior we create unconsciously when we create from our needs. I need, I want, so I create, and I create something. I create unconsciously when I create from a feeling of unworthiness. I create unconsciously when I create from a feeling of lack of love, lack of money, lack of this, lack of that, lack of that. If God has created you, He has created you abundant. God has created you abundant. There is no need for you to have anything. He says it is if He can make this galaxy of billions of stars, and He can make billions of galaxies with billions of stars, what is there to give me my food and to give me my clothes and to give me nothing. But we have to allow Him to do that. Another thing, the difference between God's creation and our creation. If you read the book of Genesis, after He created the sun and the moon, what did God say?
It is good. It is good.
It is good. After He created the land and the sea, what did He say? After He created the birds and the fish, what did He say? After He created the light and separated it from darkness, after He created Adam and Eve, and you know what? After He created you also, He said it is good. And He has never stopped saying that. Open your eyes, open your ears, and listen to Him saying to you, It is good. It is good. It is good. And listen to God saying of His creation, you are God's powerful creation. You are God's best beloved creation. And God has never stopped, and He will never stop saying it is good. So the whole, I think, after we die, or when we become more and more sensitive to spiritual input, all that we will hear resounding with waves and waves and waves throughout the billions of universes that God has created is saying, it is good, it is good. You'll hear this God saying, wow. And then you'll look at Him and say, what about me? You're good. Isn't that great? Because He cannot create anything that is not good. Only you and I are the nuts who say, yeah, there is evil in this world. There is wickedness in this world. There is that in this world. There is this in this world. No. God looks even at the worst of sinners and criminals and says, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. He doesn't say anything else. Can you believe that? What a God we have. What a God.
So those that choose to do evil things, or those innocent but suffer from the evil that other people do, are they just blocking the ability to maybe to suffer and not see the good of God because of all the suffering, or the person who commits these evil acts? Are both those people blocking out somehow the good?
Yeah. That is what you and I have done till we came for this course. So we are not sensitive to the goodness that God is saying that I am good. And so we have made ourselves and created an opinion about myself that I am not good. So I can keep on, so that's what I said. It's an unconscious creation. It's not a conscious creation. The conscious creation is done only with love. And so once we say that I am good, and so what happens now? Once you begin to tell yourself, I am not good enough, or I am evil, or I am wicked. So what happens? You now reflect yourself on everyone else. So you begin to see everyone else as a reflection of yourself. And that's called creating another person to be whom you want to be. So you can look at me, and maybe before coming for this class, you might have heard from the people here, no, that father, he's a sham, he's a fake, he's a this, he's a that, you were. And don't those people have, like, they put that impression upon you. So you will come at once and say, I know. So you have already got an impression already before you had an experience of me at all. So what are you there for? You are an innocent one that is accepted the reflection of the world, made it your own. And so you, because what you have in your mind about me, you at once project your mind and say, anything I do, say, or now is, it's correct, I'm correct. What they said is true, because you're projecting now. Got it? More or less.
I guess I'm thinking of a family whose house gets bombed in war.
Okay.
And did they somehow unconsciously create that circumstance? And the person who chose to decide that this group of people is undeserving and wants to wipe them out and off the planet, is that person has that perspective because they're not connecting to God? Is there pure evil?
No, it's not pure evil. See, every person who does something bad does because they don't know any other way of how to live their lives. They have been victims themselves, and so they are projecting that victimhood onto others. So that is why, what did Jesus say? When someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn the other. Have compassion on them, because the one who makes anybody suffer is themselves suffering a lot. So that is called compassion, being able to. You heard about that 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl in Italy. The parents had gone out or something like that, and the contractor came, carpenter or somebody came, and he wanted to rape that girl because she was alone, etc. So a big thing happened, and that girl forgave him. Said, let it go, let it go. And that girl today is called Saint Maria Goretti, 14-year-old. I went to a house when I went to Italy. So and now if you see the modern day saints, many of you have seen that movie Happy. Again, I'll repeat to that movie. It begins with a poor hand rickshaw driver. You saw that movie?
I saw that
Yeah,
part of
that
the movie.
part.
Yeah.
See, now he's not blaming the government, he's not blaming the Republicans, he's not blaming the loan sharks, he's not blaming nobody. He's saying, I have a house and it's got 3 walls. One wall is not there, but I can live within these 3 walls. The rain comes, let it come. And they asked, or some question was there, what are the happiest moments of your day? And he's got only one shirt, and his food, the food that they eat, he and his wife, the food that they eat is boiled rice with salt on top to get some taste. Salty boiled rice every day of their life, so much. And the happiest time is saying, when I come back, and he's a driver, he's pulling those things with heavy fatties sitting down in the cart, and he's pulling them, and they hardly pay him anything. And he's saying, I have to keep them happy because they will not hire me next time. So he's hungry in the rain. So they asked him, you go in the rain? Yeah, I go in the rain. But when it stops, the rain dries and I feel good. Happy anyway, whether it rains or doesn't rain, he's happy anyway. So that is our choice. So even if you're bombed and anything, happiness, we have to realize this. Nothing from outside can make you happy. Nobody in this whole world has been created to love you. Nobody has been created to love you. Get that? Nobody. Why is that nobody is in this world is created to love you? Because God loves you enough. And therefore, if you are created to bring your happiness to the world, not the world is not created to give you happiness. You are created to bring love to other human beings. What is the greatest commandment? Jesus did not tell us the greatest commandment is to be loved by others. No, he said the greatest commandment is you love others. And as you do that, that love will bounce back. So you're not, everything that you do bounces back. If you do bad, it bounces back. If you do, the world is like reflecting everything that you do. So it's echoing everything, every word, thought and beat is being echoed back. So anything that comes to you, you have to say, this is an echo of what I did maybe 5 years back, 6 years back, yesterday. Everything is coming back. You are the creator of your own world.
I'm just thinking about the disciple. Is he called Stefano or Stephan? I'm not sure. The one who gets stoned.
Yeah, Saint Stephen.
Says, forgive them because they don't have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, correct.
And that's the unconsciousness,
yes,
right?
Correct.
They don't see the consequences.
Father,
of their
even
acts.
Jesus said on the cross, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. And most of the people who do evil are doing out of unconsciously. All our evil is coming from an unconsciousness. Consciously, nobody does evil. So all the people. So what did Jesus tell the Samaritan woman, told a prostitute, everyone said, don't worry, I forgive you, you go. He never asked any question, nothing. Just did that. And so for today my class is over.
Thank you.
I think we all love you.